Who are you most excited about of all the players Chelsea have signed? They've obviously brought in João Pedro and getting signing young again.
Yeah, the João Pedro one, he come straight off the Copacabana beach at the World Cup and just whipped 2 in, you know, and he looked like he'd been a Chelsea player for years. I know that the people at Chelsea were really, really pleased with the summer. You know, they got the players that they want. But I think João Pedro, he's been bought, João Pedro, to play in that role where he scored 10 goals last year. He can play centre forward, he can play off the left, and he can play off the right. And I think they probably don't realise how much of a good player they've got. I think there's another level for him to go up.
One thing I would say, Estevao, this kid is like Cole Palmer style of play.
Yeah.
And I think people are going to be blown away by him. Obviously, he's very young, but talent-wise, I think he's one of them. He'll get people off their seats. And I think about him and Cole Palmer together with João Pedro. I mean, Chelsea, really, if they just add a keeper, they'll be in the top 4 for sure.
I think they'll finish above City, Chelsea.
Wow.
But they gave a lot of games away last season, didn't they? With errors. A lot of goals, he made a lot of them.
Yeah.
He finished the season quite well.
Well, they kept chopping and changing, and you know, like you can't look at all the great teams that have won titles, particularly in the Premier League. All of them had a top goalie.
100%.
It's just for me, just logical. Just logical. Like we need to sort that.
Does anyone else agree with Crouchy that Chelsea finish above Man City?
Yeah, go on in, Linz.
He's got to say that.
And when I look at Chelsea, I think what you did in that World Club Cup, because, you know, everyone wanted to win it. Real Madrid really wanted to win that. Paris Saint-Germain did. I think Man City, who we'd class as sort of the best teams in that competition, all really wanted to win it. So I do think it's a big thing, and it should give you belief and maybe build a connection between the manager and the supporters. I don't think that was really there a lot last season. Even later on in the season, they were booing some of the substitutions away at Fulham. There was only 5 or 6 games to go of the season. So I think it'll help do that. I'm not sure it'll push Chelsea any closer to the title if they obviously don't bring those type of players in. Because I don't know how you feel, but you know when Chelsea do business over the last sort of 2 or 3 years, it feels like a lot of players changing without anyone really lifting the level. I know Cole Palmer's been amazing, but you know, like all your wingers feel like the same. There's a lot of players there.
The needle hasn't moved.
Madueke, a perfect example is Gittins comes in, Madueke leaves.
Yeah, where's the elevation?
That's what I see that with a lot of positions. I feel with Chelsea.
I think that's true, and you're probably correct. I don't think we will win the league, but do you know what I think this summer has done, and also winning that silverware it's done. I think it's this time last year you were talking about Chelsea in the same breath as the competing teams. At the time, we were maybe talking about Tottenham, Villa. We were putting Chelsea in that bracket that were competing for the top 5, hoping to finish in. We've left them behind now. We've now moved a rung above, I think. I think that you now talk about Chelsea as competing with Man City, Liverpool, Arsenal. Whether or not we can actually do that. And the problem I've got, I think, is Liverpool are just going to, you know, the points tally, the ultimate points tally that wins the Premier League title. I feel like this Liverpool team are capable of doing something ridiculous, like potentially 100 points or something like that. I don't think we can accrue that kind of number. But if it goes a little bit wrong for Liverpool, if Arsenal, it doesn't necessarily go their way, I feel like we're capable of hitting a respectable tally that if other people slip, you know, if 84, 85 wins you the league title, maybe we can do it. Just probably doesn't, does it?
No, I still don't see Chelsea finishing above the other sort of top 3, if you like, who've probably been going for titles. Because I think of what happened in Europe last season. Pardon?
Favourites for 4th.
Yeah, I'd definitely say that. I just think the Conference League last year, I think Cole Palmer wasn't in the squad and maybe a couple of other players. You'll have the Champions League now, so you'll have to go for every game. So I think it'd be interesting to see how that one goes.
Let's see if we have a different opinion on Chelsea. Obviously, Enzo Maresco's done a fabulous job there, finished 4th last season, the Club World Cup champions, which was an amazing, they've brought in, as they do every year, Delap for 30 million, João Pedro for 60, Jamie Gittins from Dortmund for 51 million, Estevao from Palmeiras, the youngster, who looks a little bit special for 49 million, and Jorel Hato from Ajax as well for 38 million. They've let a few go, but I definitely think Champions League places. They could be the team that goes maybe close, very close to the title.
You mentioned all those. I mean, they've lost
Levi Colville, haven't they? Because I think
blow,
he did his knee, hasn't he, unfortunately. So I guess they'll be in the transfer market again to bring in
they have
someone,
got a lot of central defenders,
else.
though, Al. They've bought in a few as well. So
I'd be amazed if they're finished in the transfer window. You know what Chelsea are like. But I've got them Champions League, definitely, but I don't see them having enough to get to the title.
Maresca has said he wants another central defender in, so it'll be interesting to see if they get one before the start of the season.
Chelsea are a good team now. I think challenging. I just think defensively they've got so much attacking players. At times they do overcommit, leave themselves exposed. If they bring in a top centre half, I think they can challenge till the last 5 games of the season. It's just, I look at the other teams around them, I think they're better defensively, and I think that's the only thing that's going to stop them from going and winning it. But if you watch them in the Club World Cup, they was excellent, especially in that final against PSG. We was all thinking PSG was going to take that home, but the ability to go from back to front so quick is going to catch teams off guard. And it's not only Cole Palmer who's a real... Look at João Pedro, the way he links up, and they've got options like Delap as well, and they've got pace on the wing. Yeah, I think they're challenging.
So you don't see them winning the title then?
Just miss out, Al.
Yeah, I think they'll finish higher than they did last season, and that was 4th, but I'm not sure they'll win the title.
Spot. I've got the world champions, Chelsea. This was tough, and actually a couple of days ago I was kind of flirting with the fact that they could well do it. And actually, first thing I will say is I think they'll be incredibly close to getting over 80 points. And the recruitment has been really strong. Obviously, the squad is enormous, as we know, but the quality is really there. They remind me a little bit of Arsenal in 22-23, where it's like they're kind of young and excited, but they're together. And obviously, having won the Club World Cup, that's huge for them. Bringing in the likes of Pedro, who I think is going to have an enormously good season, and having him and Delap as that front two. Jackson, will he go? I imagine they'll probably try and cash in on him at some point, but the depth there from the attacking point of view is huge. That was a problem last season. The star quality of Palmer, Caicedo. There's so much quality in there. Neto's gone to a new level recently. I think he'll have a huge season. One question mark is, with Madueke going out, Beno Gittins coming in, how much of an upgrade is that on the left-hand side? Time will tell, but they obviously sold him for a reason, and his market value is very high. Ogachukwu, you've gone, son, so we'll let you go over there. The problem for me is this. It's stacked, and it's young, and it's exciting in terms of potential. This centre-back area, and you need to win a league, it's about your defence. I think from a leadership point of view, there's maybe a little bit short there in terms of a couple of guys, and that centre-back position is a great place to have it. But also, Fofana can't stay fit. Colwell now. I think the Colwell thing is a big one for me, and I was already a bit nervous about the centre-back positions. Have they got the out-and-out quality, or is the midfield good enough to kind of protect that back line for them not to get hurt? That's a question for me. I just wonder. Now, will they go out and buy someone? Very possibly. Who knows? But at the moment, that defence, I think, could maybe hurt them. And as I say, with it being similar to maybe Arsenal in 22-23, it's one where I expect them to, as I said, get close to 80 points, maybe get over the line, because they've got so much excitement and players that can win games, but also a midfield that can make you quit. But there's still a lot of players there that could go and get injured. Reece James, Lavia, and that is a bit of a concern for me. I feel like they're just 1 year away, but they could well be in a title race come March.
Right, played a bit safe. I think in 4th, I'm going for Chelsea. Now, Chelsea could surprise some people. I think Chelsea could legitimately be in title conversations come February, March. I'm not sure they've quite got the legs across the full season to maintain that, but they're a really good side with a really good coach. Enzo Maresca, in big games, has proven that he is adaptable. When he first arrived, people were saying he's not adaptable at Leicester. He plays the same way every week. It's dull. Well, load of rubbish. He's proven he can change it up, be adaptable, alter his system to suit different teams and different opposition, and beat big coaches. Now, I do think the Levi Colwill injury is a hammer blow, and it's clear that Maresca wants to sign another centre-back. He's come out publicly to say as much, no surprise. But they still have some of the best players in the league in their position. I think Carragher is the best left-back in the league. I think Caicedo, obviously, without Rodri being there, is probably the best defensive midfielder in the league for me. I think Cole Palmer is maybe the best attacking midfielder in the league. So you can see they've got 2 or 3 superstars. And then they also have 2 or 3 players that have the upside of potentially becoming superstars. João Pedro's pre-season and what we've seen of him in a Chelsea shirt so far indicate to me he could be one of the signings of the season. I think he could get close to 20 goals this year, which is going to be a big shout, and I can see people at home saying, no way, but I do think he's a superstar in the making. I also think people are sleeping on Enzo Fernandez and how well he has adapted to the Maresca system. So when you combine that with some of the signings they've been able to make, Estevao arriving, Reece James being fit for multiple months now, yeah, Chelsea are a problem, man. If things click, Chelsea could challenge for the title. If things go wrong, then I think the youth will show through and they'll probably be battling for top 4. In third,
4th place, Chelsea. Again, top 4. Yeah, I expect a good season for Chelsea, and I think they'll be a lot closer to the top 3, but I'm going to go Chelsea in 4th.